Yes, people, quick disclaimer before we get into this reaction video. The first few minutes, you will hear some echoing within the audio. However, that does get sorted a good 3-4 minutes into the video. Plus, I did my very best to clean that side of the audio. Other than that, let's get into this.
But where is this stew? Where is this stew?
The HD is HDing.
Honestly, the Avalanche logo is looking like.
Oh, it's in 4K. Okay, that's right.
Makes more sense. Because the stream before was just in 1080, but 1080 streams don't look as good.
What do you think you're doing here, humans?
Welcome to Hogwarts Legacy. You're a new student at the famed School of Witchcraft and Wizardry with a unique ability to
I don't know about you, man,
powerful ancient
but
magic hidden in the
this,
Wizarding World.
the whole vibe I get from this year is basically bully, but you're a wizard.
And who is seeking to harness it
Yeah,
as you may
it's
be the
physically
one that
bully.
decides the fate of the entire Wizarding World. But before you can study magic and begin to solve these mysteries, you must create the witch or wizard you want to be.
I wonder if I can get to a wizard
You
of
will
high
be
top.
sorted into one of the four Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin.
I think there's a
As you
beautiful
settle into your
nostalgia to
dormitory,
it.
you will meet up with your housemates in the
Sharing the
common.
names
You
with
will
the
then
different
need to
houses
attend
and
classes, and you do have some
Good old
catching up
Harry
to do,
Potter.
as you were starting Hogwarts late as a 5th year.
So you are the new
Whoa.
student.
What was the African accent?
That accent threw me off, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm not mad at it, it just threw me off.
Potions classes.
Nah, man, it's just as bad as what's his name from Apex?
What, Lifeline?
No, not Lifeline. What's the guy again?
Shall we begin?
Oh, see?
Welcome to
See,
year 5
see.
of charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work, but I am confident that we will take hold with a passion.
I know none of these teachers from Harry Potter, but they did say it was like different characters and different teachers.
Is by doing. You start with YouTube.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
You may begin.
I'm wondering if there's a risk of death in this game.
What, as in you dying or you killing people?
No, if you die as a character, or if it's just like expulsion.
Fetters and learn to cast spells, grow magical plants, brew potions, and more.
Yeah, I'm the storyline guy. I'm always
To explore the
I'm always trying to
castle's
find
various
more
secrets,
storyline.
enchantments,
In the
and
Harry Potter
mysteries.
films, from the 4th one, that's when people started dying,
To
isn't it?
discover
So,
dungeons
Yeah.
and secret
No, but the Harry Potter
passageways,
film, death was a risk the whole time because of Voldemort.
as well as
So
challenging
that death was a risk.
puzzles that will require
This feels
magical
like
skill and a
The
clever
worst that can
mind
happen here
to
is you get
solve.
kicked out of school.
You may even find yourself in iconic locations you've never been able to explore
Yeah,
before.
that's pretty sick.
Are you using elves? Or
It's the late 1800s, so while
House-
the common
households
language
in
classes
Hogwarts.
may be familiar, most
Yeah.
of your professors will not be.
You may
However,
recognise a
you may
few
recognize
faces. Controversial.
few faces.
All in good fun. Once Sir Patrick lets me join the Headless Hunt, I'll be right there with them. This offering is sure to win them over.
Don't forget why I'm here, sir.
You'll come to know this eclectic group of talented witches and wizards in class and while completing side assignments that are part of a special curriculum, ones designed to help you catch up with the other 5th years at your own speed.
Lumos.
A dangerous mystery.
Okay,
But Hogwarts is not a mystery.
Adventure abound in the area surrounding Hogwarts. The magical abilities you learn to master through your schoolwork will soon become tested.
Shy, are you
as
playing yours
unravel
throughout
the
your
dangerous
laptop or
mystery
phone?
by working alongside
My
the
laptop.
accomplished and yet
You
enigmatic
echoing,
Professor
man.
Fig to try and discover
Feedback.
the wonders of a mounting goblin
Wait, pop
rebellion
this thing, just in case.
and
The safety of
if the safety of Hogwarts lies in the balance.
I have opinions differ as to how great a threat he really is.
Say for that.
Mini Voldemort.
You know the ones there.
Ranrock's loyalists
Just
are capable
vote.
of so much more than people realise.
The wizarding world of this era is fraught with dangers. Creatures corrupted by a magical force, powerful goblins, and sinister witches and wizards, all willing to fight, even kill,
Okay.
to achieve
Yes, he's
their own
involved.
goals.
Okay, cool. So it's a bit
I
more
want to
serious.
know if they're gonna do the whole thing of you can go
Goblins and dark wizards.
through the path of good or the path of evil, innit? So like, if you're good, then you've got moves that will just like in what is it? That will just knock you out, as opposed to like going through the evil route and actually killing enemies.
I mean, he does say, I feel like I remember seeing in this that he does say Avada Kedavra, which is like the move that just kills people instantly.
This I ain't gonna lie, man. Sometimes you have to be a crud.
Yeah, no, if everyone comes out trying to kill you, get back in it.
Visually, this looks cool though.
Yeah, 100.
Man, just making it pop.
The typical clashes.
If this is not a button
Enemies
mash, then it's
possess
not real.
unique defensive and offensive abilities, including
I thought my man was just frozen.
stunning spells, enchanted weaponry, and more. While some may attack directly, others might enchant and incapacitate you. Mastery of the shield charm allows you to deflect ranged spells and direct weapon strikes. Counterattack with powerful stunning charms, allowing you to follow up with extended spell
I
combinations.
like the fact that there seems to be like quite a nice variety of moves you can do.
Yeah, there seems to be a
Yeah.
range.
And then clearly you can combine your
Spellcasting
what is it, spells as well.
Their enemy's weakness.
It doesn't look like there's any stealth options, which is not a bad thing, but it's just interesting to see. Like everything has to be
No, I
open
think-
combat. It looks like.
I think there is some
See,
stealth
there's still gonna be
options.
stealth.
Yeah, there's. I remember seeing a stealth option when I watched.
Slam with Descendo. Roast with Incendio.
Cindy,
That's just rude.
Devastate your enemies using various finishes.
And then this,
You can even use the mysterious
See that
powerful
Hulk
magic
treatment?
your professors do not understand to obliterate your strongest foes.
And then the powers of thought.
you know the ones there.
Mixing and matching dozens of spells will
Good
let you
talk.
define your combat style. On your path to become the ultimate duelist.
I can imagine, yeah, you just doing a madness once you become OP.
Yeah.
Just mixing up spells here and there.
Yeah, that's what he just did. I just know if you saw that clip. I think that's what he just tried to do as well.
In your own time.
He did the Hulk thing. He did the
In
sword
addition to
thing.
classes and
Same fight.
spells, you'll have access to a deep set of upgrades, talents, and skills to aid your progression as a wizard. Complete challenges throughout the world to earn experience. Level up your abilities by choosing talents
wonder
to
how-
upgrade your spells.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is the
yeah,
stealth
so-
aspect, yeah.
To
Yeah,
increase
nice.
their
Invisibility
Nice.
without the
which
cloak.
talents best fit your playstyle to allow you to focus
tell
on
my
your
man, get
favorite
over
types
here.
of magic. You can also loot, buy, or craft your own magical gear that will increase your offensive and defensive capabilities in combat. Gear can be upgraded and specialized to allow for greater abilities for your chosen playstyle.
Use a strong, even motion when cutting your ingredients.
See, little stuff like that, that reminds me of Bully, because you actually had to take classes.
Yeah.
Spells are not the only tools at your disposal in combat. As you hone your wand skills, you can continue to further your magical education at Hogwarts, progressing your development as a witch or wizard. Brew potions that can increase your power when you need a boost.
Man became the
Grow
thing
and
from
deploy
Fantastic
magical
Four.
plants to mob the
You know the
battlefield
one.
and keep your enemies at bay. You can even unleash deadly mandrake seedlings to incapacitate unsuspecting
That's mad.
enemies. In Beasts class, you will learn about a variety of magical
Nintendogs.
beasts you might encounter.
Man said
Explore
Nintendogs.
the world surrounding the castle and its grounds.
The goal of today is to remind all of you how to maneuver on a broomstick safely.
Learning and mastering broom flight
flying,
is
a
highly
bit.
recommended so that you may travel around the world more quickly.
That's gonna be
Bro.
key,
Do
man.
my herbology homework.
You're
Because
despicable.
the game's not just gonna be in Hogwarts, is it?
Some
So
abilities may be taught to you by
Yeah, apparently
students
No,
who
okay,
become
it's
your
different
friends.
places.
About, innit?
As you develop relationships with these schoolmates, they can accompany you on your journey as your companions. And over time, you'll learn their stories.
see, this lays into the question you were saying: is death a possibility? So imagine you got these companions, and something goes wrong, and one of your companions die. Is that
justice she seeks.
a possibility?
Poppy Sweeting has a kind
Yeah,
heart
I mean, they
and loves magical
mentioned it
beasts.
earlier that
Connecting with them
you know,
easily
some of the
than
enemies
with
are looking for
humans.
are trying to kill you. So that shows that okay, there's higher stakes than just expulsion. So there might be a bit more of a storyline than just you're at school, which
Is
is what I'm looking
Sebastian
forward
Sallow,
to.
a charismatic Slytherin
We've been over this, boy. Triple cannot reverse a curse.
with a troubling family secret.
Nothing can. The sooner you accept that reality, the better.
You'll meet these students and more as you explore common rooms, hallways between classes, and regular gathering areas.
The room of
Welcome to the
requirement.
room of requirement.
A lot of features though, a lot.
One
Yeah,
of the most remarkable secrets of Hogwarts.
I bet it's gonna be one of them
is
games
the
where you're
rules
gonna put in
required.
hours, but they want you to do that.
Yeah, they're probably.
You're introduced to
It seems like you're
space
probably
that
doing a lot of
seems to sense
collecting as
what you
well.
need, and then
Yeah.
provides it for you.
Making up potions, taking classes while doing the
Since you need
story.
to
You're
catch
probably
up
gonna
to
have
your
other
peers,
side
the room
stories.
provides
Yeah,
space
side
for you to
missions,
search
yeah,
Other
for
sides
yeah.
going to
spells, brew
yeah, you're gonna
potions,
put in
and
hours.
upgrade your gear.
Yeah, but
If
look
it
at this
keeps
room
you busy
requirement
and you're
thing.
entertained,
A
Yeah,
helpful house elf named Deke
then I won't be
helps you discover
complaining.
vivariums that allow you to nurture your own menagerie of magical beasts.
alright, you can bring a beast.
Deke isn't sure. Only one way to find out.
You can freely customize this space to reflect your personality and magical
Oh.
specialties.
You can make your own village.
Oh, it's like Fantastic Beasts where you're in the bag and it has the beast area or where the beasts are, right?
I also like the fact that it's not just the broom you can
Not everything you
travel
need on your journey
with.
is available at Hogwarts.
Yeah, I just clocked that. You're
You'll
just
want to
riding
visit
the
the nearby
whatever that
resting
was. I can't
village
remember what
of
they called now.
Hogsmeade, where
Horse,
loads
basically.
of shops and vendors can
The
provide
Griffin.
you with the supplies you require.
No, not Griffin, because probably what it's called.
Ingredients and recipes,
The Big Bird.
to seeds for magical plants, to all sorts of gear.
I can't
The
like you see this
yeah.
drip here. It reminds me of
But
Assassin's Creed
Hogsmeade
Syndicate,
also has its dangerous side.
especially this guy here.
Dark witches and
Yeah,
wizards
especially that guy.
emboldened by the turmoil of the times, wander the village outskirts. You must avoid them or defeat them. As you
Avoid
explore,
or defeat, you
you'll
see?
find the
Option
world
of stealth
surrounding
or
Hogwarts is alive
go
with
Rambo.
activity, wonders, and
Oh,
I can
Rambo
only
would be-
imagine how going Rambo would be with a wand. But it seems like you could do a lot anyway. But from the beginning, boy,
or sunshine, or coat the ground with snow or rain. Unique wizarding hamlets pepper the countryside, each with vendors and residents who have stories to tell, and missions with which they could use your assistance.
Rah. So there's a whole load of side missions out of the school.
yeah, it looks like there's puzzles as well. So
When he was a student at Hogwarts, magical beasts roam the lands outside the castle walls. Some have been corrupted by a mysterious dark magic, while others are at risk of poachers and their
corrupted
traps.
creatures.
If you're feeling
It sounded like
benevolent, you
Horizon.
can rescue them and restore
Yeah.
them to health in the room of requirement. But there are dangers beyond your understanding.
Fort Park.
See,
Dungeons and vaults hold
you can do
perilous threats
Ghostbusters
and
to all these animals and just put them in a little trunk.
be careful where
You
you
could
choose
take
to
the room
explore,
requirement.
as it may lead you down a darker path.
See? Oh, so you can go to the darker path.
Master spells.
Yeah.
Befriend new allies. Journey across a landscape never seen
yeah, but
before.
what if you go down the dark
Cover
path here,
ancient
learn all the
secrets,
dark magic, but
combat
use it for
mystical
good?
threats, learn long
It's like the
forgotten
wizard version of
mysteries, become the witch or wizard
Robin Hood,
you
did
want
it?
to be. As you leave
Learning
No.
from the bad,
Yeah.
to save the good.
No, the premise is very different. You're killing-
Listen, I had to reach the item, I'm gonna lie. Like reach.
Yeah. All right then.
Well, that was that.
Yeah, so I remember when this was first announced, yeah, I was like, Harry Potter game. Okay, cool. Didn't really care for it too much, but then, you know, when I started thinking about what the game was gonna be like and little more information was coming out about, I was like, this is sounding more and more interesting. Especially the main fact of you get to create your own wizard. I think that was
from the looks of it, yeah. I hope there's more character creation because it seems like you only had 2 models, but I'm hoping that's different. Like it's gonna be like a full wide character creation and not just like 2 model sets and that's about it.
There probably will be quite a bit. Because you know what? In general, when it comes to character creation, like, not even, like, with games in general, a lot more people are asking for more. So they can cater to everyone in it. So hopefully they do that. Because like I said, obviously, I made a joke saying, hopefully I can make a wizard with a high top. But the option is there. I'll most certainly take it.
No,
but then I saw one of the characters in the back that was a black kid, and he looked like he had like a standard, like, level 1 haircut that didn't look bad, but then obviously it would be cool, innit? Like, imagine you got a wizard.
No, because
we ain't seen that way.
No, there's only one Donnie in the whole of Harry Potter that had dreads. And it was the guy who played Magnitude from Community.
Bruv, I don't even remember him Harry Potter. That's the thing.
you know in Harry Potter, yeah, there was always that one black kid that was announcing Quidditch games and that.
Oh, him! Oh, that's the same guy.
Yeah, that's the
same
guy.
I wouldn't have clocked it. I ain't gonna lie. I wouldn't have clocked it.
It took some time, but yeah, but
fair enough.
Yeah, he has that was the only guy who had dreadlocks. So in my head, yeah, I feel like cornrows don't exist in the Wizarding world.
Do you think they're gonna give him the afro that's just bare round, look like Afro Thunder from Ready to Rumble?
I'm not gonna lie, that is a high possibility.
That would be very upsetting.
With the way that,
but no, with the character selection, we'll just have to see. They didn't go into that too much, innit? So
yeah, I mean, it'll be good to see, but also it's kind of fearful because if the game reveals too much about its, its systems and what it has to offer, sometimes we get all of it at once, and when we come into the game, it's like it's not as great as we thought it was going to be because they've given away so much.
It'll be better that way because the anticipation's already high. They haven't revealed too much. They haven't even revealed anything about villains and shit.
But that's good.
We don't know if Quidditch is gonna be a part of it.
Yeah, I was waiting for that as well.
I'm fine with that.
You didn't mention it too.
With games, yeah, I'm fine with not knowing much and just finding out what they have, because right now there's the trend of games and companies reading so much, and you're like, oh, this is going to be so sick, and you find out they've put everything that was in the game within the trailers, and those are the only good bits, and the game turns out to be bad. So I'm alright. I don't really mind. It's fine. No, stay there.
My thing is, I'm not gonna lie. This game's going to be copped. A day one.
Day one. Yeah, let's say that.
It might have to be a day one cop still. At first I was like, Shaq, I'm going to wait to watch. I'm gonna watch you play to see what gone. But nah, I think the interest is high enough for me to be like, this is a day one cop, man.
I think my thing is, I'm hoping they haven't been lazy with the fact that it's a well-known brand, and they're gonna give us like some half-baked game because it's Harry Potter, so they're gonna like it anyway. I'm hoping that the work has been put in, but it looks to be fair. But again, similar to what Shaq was saying, like sometimes people will hype up a game so much and then you'll get there and it's like, oh, is that it? So I'm kind of in that same boat. I'm kind of in that same boat. Sorry, go on.
I was having a discussion yesterday. I was just having a discussion yesterday, and like it's difficult because it's probably the same thing that we all talk about. Is like games companies, you don't know how they're gonna go with the release of a game. If they listen to the fans too much, then like when I say like when you listen to like aggressive fans and they're like, oh, release it, and then it doesn't come out the way the fans want. It's like, well, at the same time, whose fault is that? Is it the games company or is it the fans? You can argue say it's both, but it's so difficult. I think games companies that listen to fans but don't listen to the demands. So like you can listen to the you know, how do I say, the suggestions, the little critiques, but when it comes to the demanding, I think
but they're constructive. They're constructive critiques and whatnot. You can actually learn from them. Learn from the comments and whatnot, and then build on that, as opposed to just, release the game. Because my thing is, if the game is not ready and the deadline's approaching, I've just push it back. I mean, this game got pushed back. It was meant to come out last year, it got pushed back to this year. Cool, do what you have to do. Again, Suicide Squad, I was looking forward to that, but they said they've pushed it back to 2023. Cool, Rocksteady, do what you have to do. If the game bangs, it's going to be worth it in the end. So, yeah, if the game is ready by the end of 2022, then I'm good. But if they have to push it back again, listen, I'd rather have a complete game, because no one wants another Cyberpunk episode, because that was just a whole howler. Yeah. And no one wants to be in that level of a howler.
And the thing is, right, I don't think anybody says to themselves, this game took too long, I'm not buying it anymore. That makes sense. No one says, bring it out. And then 2 months later they say, no, you didn't bring it out when I said I'm not buying it. Like,
yeah, no one says that. I mean, again, Elden Ring, I swear that got pushed back for time.
Yeah, and
now it's out. Everyone's enjoying it. No one's complaining. Well, from what I've seen,
but also, I don't think there was more demand in terms of like they knew that there hasn't been. I don't know what people. I think maybe people say Dark Souls 2, but there hasn't been any games like that they've done bad on where people have complained. I think it's because when it comes to it, if they're doing the same thing right every time, fans don't need to speak about the game. They don't need to say, oh, you need to do this wrong. But like, especially when it's like, oh, you need to do this right, sorry. But it's when you're taking a franchise and putting it into a game and you've gone so many different ways about it. That's what
this franchise has a high, like it's basically got a lot of fans.
Yeah,
the franchise in general is is loved around the world.
And there hasn't been a Harry Potter game for a while, so it's a big step.
Mate, I can't lie to you, the last Harry Potter game I played was on PS1.
Wow. I think the last Harry Potter game I played was Quidditch World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried that, I wasn't feeling it. But we'll see. Because I might, you know, if we're gonna jump on it, let's see what it's like. Because again, you know, we've reacted today, so it'd be good to actually, just like with Ghost, you know, all right, let's see what this is saying. My only thing is, like, it looks like it's gonna be time consuming, and like,
100%.
I've got other games I want to play, man.
Nah, do you know what it is? It's one of those ones where, like, I can't lie. When it comes to story games, you're gonna have to go through it one at a time. You're gonna have to go through it one at a time, man. Because when you're juggling 2 or 3, it's gonna take you longer, and then it's most likely gonna come to a point where you're enjoying one game more than the other. Yeah. So you might as well just focus on one.
We're dealing with that now. You guys are still on Cyberpunk. I'm still.
No. I'm done.
You're done now. Okay.
I'm done. I finished it 2 days ago. I'm now moving to Horizon sometime tonight.
Nice. So I've finished. I've platted Horizon, and now I need to finish Cyberpunk. I'm only like 1 mission away from it. I'm on the last mission, but I just need to do it.
Nice.
And then my big gaming collection is gone. I think I've only got Dying Light left. I need to play that.
So when is this coming out again? It just said holidays.
Yeah, so most likely
that's going to be the last quarter of 2022, fam. So I'm thinking November, December, to be honest.
I'm going December. That's because that's coming out. A lot of games have either been pushed back or said they're coming out in the holidays.
Yeah, because obviously we don't have an actual date for this, but then what is it? Gotham Knights is coming out in October, and I'm looking forward to that as well. So
yeah, that's coming out soon as well. So see how that goes. They haven't released much gameplay of that. They've only just said it's coming out here and there. it's kind of good. I guess they don't want to reveal too much and kind of be like, hey, this is what
they didn't reveal too much. They didn't reveal too much about Harry Potter, but I feel like what they did reveal was it was nice. It was calm.
You don't think that was too much? To be fair,
I didn't think that was too much at all. I didn't think that was too much at all.
Until we play the game,
we don't know the main storyline. We don't know the main villain. Again, we don't know if Quidditch is going to be involved. We don't know if there's going to be multiplayer, even though I highly doubt it.
No, I doubt it. The way it's too complicated at the moment.
We don't know if we're going to get cameos from actors that were in the franchise.
I don't think. I think
we will, but I'm just saying we don't know because they haven't said anything, so we can only speculate.
I think in my head, I feel like they might not, because then it's like when you get certain characters to be like in a franchise, to be in something that's a new storyline, it then raises the question as to is this canon for like the actual franchise? And then it's I think it comes into that because like a lot of games and because it's like Spider-Man. The Spider-Man franchise is part of like the PS4 or the PlayStation franchise is part of the Spider-Verse now. So like he's actually part of it. He has his own comic book where he gets introduced to Spider-Man, and it could be done the same. Like
but they stated they were gonna make their own story from the get-go anyway. So
yeah, they did, but then at the same time they combined it with it because people loved it so much. Yeah, but I don't think this will go into it because there's no big name cameos that we've seen. It's only just like
that's what I'm saying. You never know, innit? You never know.
Yeah.
And then also, I want to know whether, so you know how they said you could go the path of good or you can learn some dark magic. Yeah, I just want to know whether that alters your story. Whether you go down the dark route and you have like a dark ending, or you go down the path of good and have a good ending. So decisions, can that affect your story and like the people that choose to roll with you, so what and so forth?
I mean, that's not bad.
That's a lot they would have packed into that. That would be a lot. I don't think
that's what I'm saying. Obviously, we don't know this, so we can only speculate. But if that's a case, that's calm. I'm not mad at that. So then everyone could potentially have a different route.
Yeah, true.
I think they would do that, you know, because I think for a lot of games now, it's almost like a pretty much standard thing that everyone does now, like to give it that extra dimension of story. Kind of have that, like
some games they'll give you options and they don't even change the outcome of the game. So it's just like what?
No names being mentioned that we've been playing recently.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Let me ask you this: was there anything in that extended trailer we saw, the state of play, that you didn't like or you weren't feeling?
Nah, I think it's because I don't know anything about the game, so it's difficult for me to say what's wrong with it. I don't know what to expect.
No, this is not a case of what's wrong with it. Just a case of, is there anything you weren't feeling, or you're just like, okay.
Well, again, so remember my whole question about death, right? But it was answered, so I was okay. Because I didn't want it to be the worst that could happen in the storyline is you get excluded. So, because for me, that I don't know, it feels a bit childish, if that makes sense. It's the worst. My biggest risk is I can get kicked out of Hogwarts, and then the game's over. It's like for me.
Right, you're trying to get sent to Azkaban.
Yeah, man, I want a bit more because the Harry Potter franchise was very, very intense. So making a game that involves real risk would just be a bit light. It's like it'll be banter compared to the actual movies. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but now they've kind of highlighted that some of the enemies you're gonna meet could potentially kill you. It's like, okay, so this is not a joke. Does that make sense? I want to get in there, and I want to be great in Harry Potter. I want to get in there. Forgettable. Does that make sense? I want my storyline to be great in Harry Potter's. Not like, oh yeah, some guy came and got all straight A's, well done. Like, no.
This is because to be fair, in this game, you are essentially building your own legacy in Hogwarts. And they've got an interesting take because you're coming in year 5. So I want to know, why are you jumping into Hogwarts so late? Why could you not join from year 1?
Because gap year.
This brother said gap year. For 4 years, you just come into year 5. That's a serious gap, you know.
Yeah, he did
That's
a
a
gap
work
year.
experience for a while. Let me make my coins.
No, he went traveling. That's what it was. He went traveling, found himself, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna come back to Hogwarts."
I would say that individually, all the pieces we saw look good. So individually, I don't think I have any issue with any of the pieces that we saw. Individually, it all looks good. It's just let's see how they pull this together. Like, is it gonna make sense? Is it gonna work with the story? Is it gonna work with the gameplay? You know, are we gonna skip certain things because they're pretty pointless? Like, you know, playing Cyberpunk and look at some reviews on Cyberpunk, for example. I'm hearing a lot of people talking about how they feel certain upgrades and certain abilities weren't really like something you have to really focus on. So I want to know if they can make a decent end.
I feel like it. I get what you mean, because Cyberpunk here, for me, I don't think you even need to focus on brawling unless you want to do like
unless you're using blood weapons.
Yeah, because even when you get like the gorilla fists here, they're really strong as it is.
Oh,
and when you level up.
Yep.
And plus, like, you don't even have to use your points to level it up. All you need to do is just use things within that skill tree to level it up.
Yep.
So you haven't got to waste it. But I get what you mean. I fully get what you mean.
Yeah. So that's the kind of like, I'm hoping that with the pieces they've got now in Harry Potter, because they've got quite a lot of moving pieces that all look good individually. But it's like, I'm hoping that in the game, they're all going to like make sense together. Like, am I going to use that requirement room? Like, you've made a whole sophisticated system. Am I going to use it? Or is it them ones where it's like, you know what? I'm just going to, this is a way out of, you know, if I've got this, I don't need to use that. So let me not bother. Does that make sense? It's like,
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Games that make you craft stuff that you can buy. And money's so easy to come by that I'm never crafting because I can buy it. Like, what's the, does that make sense? Why give me the option to craft if I have enough money to always buy? Does that make sense? So I'm just, but that's going to be interesting to see. And I'm saying this now because once we play it, what I'm actually going to do, similar to what I did with Ghost, I'm actually going to watch this again, and I'm going to answer these questions for myself.
Okay.
But I think,
and then when you play the game, you will see if your questions are answered.
Yeah, what things do you want to answer for yourself by the time you finish? So, say
that last bit again.
So, what things would you want to answer for yourself once you finished it? So, see, for me, you mentioned the villain a few times. So, I want to know by the time you finished if you were satisfied with the villains. Does that make sense? Because that seems like a thing that you're looking to see, like, and then the cameos. Are you, you know, by the end of it, were you satisfied with the cameos? Would you be happy if there were none?
I'll be happy if there's no cameos. I'll be fine. It was just a question.
No lie. I mean, I wouldn't be upset.
I just want a good storyline. So then the game is worth playing. I don't want to be doing all of this, leveling up, going through crud, and then the story is just more flat than a pancake, and it's just like, no, all this, nah, it's nah. I hate it when stories fall flat.
Another thing is like, no. Quidditch is not the main thing. I think for every open world game, is that you have to specify how open the world is. Because if it's very limited and they start putting invisible walls heavily into things that look like they can be accessed, that's what the problem is. But then also, it's like, if you know, when it's like an open world game that's linear in terms of like, they're saying you have to go here. But it seems like you can go everywhere. But I hope that, you know, when like they make an open world game, they focus like so much on like the main mission areas, so it looks nice. But when you do like flying and going around, you look at the map and you're just like, this map is actually terrible for an open world area. And then I think that's what it is. It's just like, is it gonna be a good open world area rather than just a, you know, here's your area and that's about it.
Expanding on that as well, yeah. I hope it's not a case where like you have a big open world, but there's not much to do.
Yeah.
So it looks nice and everything, but it's bare bones in terms of you can't do fuck all.
Where they want you to like fly and stuff a lot and just do whatever. Because like if I compare it like playing Horizon and like get to certain points, that's a wide open world game. You do a lot of stuff. There's so much you can do. And when you get to a certain point in the story, you can see as to how sick the game is and how they utilize the open world area and space. Whereas some games, they'll just be like, well, like, especially if it's this, if they're like, oh, but, you know, the open world isn't that great, but you can fly, though.
So if I fly,
you know the ones.
You can fly
You're just flying for the sake of flying.
It's like what else do you bring to this open world game?
Aimless traveling.
Yeah, it's like
is it open world with side missions that I have to travel to find, or is it open world for aesthetics, whereby I can just walk around, but there's nothing to do there. I'm just walking around. You know.
Yeah, because
again,
an open world games have different mechanics and different things in them to make them good. Like, you analyze every open world game that you've played, and you think about the things that made that open world game good. Like, if I think about Assassin's Creed or Infamous or what else is there? There's plenty. There's Horizon. There's other games that had great. Spider-Man. It's the different elements that made it good. For Spider-Man, it's like the swinging. If the swinging element was terrible, it was open world. I wouldn't want it.
No one's swinging. You'd be taking the train everywhere.
Yeah, I'd walk. I'd walk.
That's going to be that's a good point. I mean, so to me, you touch on something. I think they might have put a bit of effort into the open world, because from what we've seen, there's 2 forms of flying. So unless that's going to be completely wasted, I think they might, like you just made a good point. Like Spider-Man, the fact that you can web sling everywhere, it's like it made, like you said, it made the open world worth it. Otherwise, like Cee would have said, "What, we're going to be walking or getting the train?" That spoils all the effort of making it an open world. Traveling as a chore. Rather than you're gliding, you can ride the machines. Like there was decent transportation, so at least it made it worth it. So I think the fact that we can see transportation that's decent in this game, I'm suspecting actually they might have made a bit of effort in the open world. Then that gives me a bit of hope.
We'll see, because we don't even know. The game could completely change by the time it comes out. They could just be like, True. Because that's another thing with these state of plays, is that we see a state of play, or we see like an in-game thing of the game, but that's the developer version of the game. But then when we get the game,
you're like, what the fuck is this? This is not what I signed up for.
Honestly. So we don't know. Could go so many different ways. So I don't know.
One little feature I want to see if they've incorporated into the game. So you're in a school, right? Basically the main thing is, are you able to sneak out of school? And do you constantly have to like watch out for security and that?
You're this is what I think. Yeah, you wanted to be bully. You're just like bully. I know.
You know what it is? 100%. Maybe it's because I've wanted a bully 2 for so long. This is the closest I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
Everyone has. Bully 2 would have been a great thing. It was a great game for what it was. It was a great game. It's you being like, if you were not able to go outside at a young age, like, because like say strict parents or protective parents, this is your game. You had that in it. So
to be fair, yeah. Nah, but I feel like the game is looking very promising. Like I said at first, I was just like, okay, cool, don't look bad, but nah, I'm interested, man. There has to be a day 1 cop.
I said a day 1 cop. We'll see then. I'm intrigued now. I want to see when it comes to day 1 and see.
I feel like you were going to I know you're always getting it. I don't know if you said you're getting it straight away or later down the line.
I'll get it. I just don't know if it's going to be a day 1 cop. That's
maybe if I see, well, they've done a whole state of play, so I doubt they might reveal too much after this. We'll have to see. And then it also depends on what I'm playing as well, man.
Yeah, that's another thing, is that you don't know what games you're going to be playing.
There's 1-2 games I still want to get now, but then obviously we still got spring, we still got summer, we got autumn, so we still got a bit of time.
That makes sense.
Actually, that's true.
It depends on where we are at that time.
Hopefully it's at a time where it's just I could just bang a new game. Like I said, Cyberpunk done. Now I can play Horizon. As soon as Horizon's done, then I'm going to be thinking, oh shit, wasn't it? Well, actually, no, I got Far Cry 6.
Yeah, see? So
I've got a little list, but we'll make it. But yeah, man. In terms of that, I don't really have anything more to say,
Nah. We only
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a different experience, but I'm looking forward to it. Sometimes different is good.
Yeah, once you two kind of like finish the games they need to finish, and then we can move on to the next one, isn't it? Because you Charlie Space Cyberpunk, you need to play Horizon.
But at least when I finish Horizon, we can do a review.
Yeah, that's true. So when that comes,
it'll be ready. I won't take too long with Cyberpunk. I'm just finishing Horizon as well. But I won't take too long with Cyberpunk. I already done a fair bit. I think I just got tired of switching, so I just finished Horizon.
Say no more, fam. Yeah, just stick to one game. Finish. Yeah, so stick to Horizon first, man.
Yeah, don't do what I did. Well, actually, to be honest, I was already far in the game anyway. I think I switched to Horizon because I was so close and done with the missions in Cyberpunk. So I was like, let me just play this game for now.
I'm literally playing Horizon as we speak.
I can tell. If you weren't playing Horizon, you'd be playing Apex.
Wait, have you completed Horizon yet?
No, not yet, you know.
Okay. Yeah, so you two play that. I'll be here waiting.
But it sounds like you enjoyed it, though.
I feel like we'll have to talk about that. Let me not reveal anything until the further conversation.
Fair enough. So it's not good or bad. I'm just saying.
Because just to a sneak, I did cut the game in it, so I did play it. So obviously, I wouldn't have played the game.
Banged it out. It was a bang out.
But there are some things that I did not like in the game that were annoying. And you heard my frustrations when I came into a room and did. So
yes, I do. Yes, I
again, that's for another session of the podcast. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, till then, my lips are sealed.
Say no more, fam.